through hell. Sunday night, only on the Weather Channel.
Welcome back to Weather Underground. I'm meteorologist Paul Griffin, live in Sacramento, California, standing in water which is trying to get back into the American River. We're here, and then to the highway to the left of me, that's Interstate 5. The southbound traffic going left to right, northbound going right to left here, and you see the bridge, and the water is expanding all across. This is called Discovery Park here, doing what it's designed to do, except some of the floodwaters, instead of infiltrating people's homes and businesses. As far as you can see, it should be a huge parking lot where some people come and bring their boats into the river, and you're seeing water. Keep heading off to the left here, still seeing plenty of floodwaters, and eventually you start seeing the main channel of the American River. Keep going to the left there, Matt Safe behind the lens, and then you start seeing some of the bridges there as it enters into the Sacramento River, and then into downtown Sacramento. So again, this city is no stranger to flooding. You got rivers on well, at least three sides of the city at some point. So yeah, flooding is certainly a way of life here. We haven't been dealing with this for quite some time. We haven't seen rain or flood like this, and some people are saying back till 2017, and now it's 2023. So this is I guess an old school winter, Mike, and the resulting is flooding in this area. The problem is we have a lot of winters in between 2017 where we haven't seen that much rainfall and snowfall. So while this is nothing unusual, it's just not in recent memory because of our ever-changing climate and our former ever worsening drought. I think we've kind of hit this one at the knees here. We're definitely going to, if this pattern continues, like Dr. Dad was talking about, into next week, we're putting a big-time dent and bite out of this long-term drought. Mike?
Yeah, you make a good point there, because the mindset, it seems like for most Californians anymore, is drought, right? They're always thinking about managing what few resources they have for water, not dealing with something like this because it happens so infrequently. Do you think a lot of people might be surprised? I don't know if it's everyday people or not, but La Nina pattern that Dr. Navas talked about, and this is drawing comparisons to the big El Nino event we had back in '97, so it's maybe not what people thought was going to happen this winter.
Two things with that, Mike. One, as you know, when it comes to hurricanes and tropical storms, every single season is different. Every single storm is different. Every El Nino and La Nina is different. They give you trends, but they don't give you in stone, this is what's going to happen because of the overall climate forcing that's going on across the globe. And then two, because of COVID, you now have hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people have moved to different places they've never lived before. So this is all brand new. Again, we go back to, March of 2020. Life as we know it as adults has totally changed. So families and people have been moving around, so they're not used to this. Hence the problems we're having, not to mention with our economy. If you go back and look at the number of people who have been killed by this, a lot of people, even here in California, at least 2 women I read about, and we've talked about on air, were killed because of falling trees, who were homeless. We've seen, unfortunately, a lot of homeless people camping out in some of these parks here with fallen trees. So it's a new threat, and definitely to people who are not used to being in the outdoors, living, and also people not used to living in an area that has such a dramatic change in our rainy season here that we have here across the West. Mike?
The extremes are very extreme, unfortunately. It's playing out in California, both ends of the spectrum here. Paul, thank you very much. In the last just couple of days, we've had huge rain. Look at some of these totals here from North Ridge back down to Rose Valley. 14, 15, 16 inches of rain has fallen in just 2 days. Look at San Francisco. Since November 1st, 16 inches of rain. We'd normally be about 7. San Jose, more than 6.5. We'd be about 4.5. And in Sacramento, more than 11 inches of rain has fallen since December 1st. It'd typically be about 6 inches. These numbers pretty extreme, Alex, and they're going to go up.
Well, the recently passed Inflation Reduction Act includes many incentives to help homeowners lower the cost of energy upgrades. If you're thinking of making some renovations, here are 3 things you should ask your contractor before you do it.
With something that's more energy efficient, here are 3 things to ask your contractor before installing new appliances. 1. Many older homes are not readily compatible with upgraded appliances. Have your contractor check to see if any retrofitting will be necessary and determine if there are any additional costs before you make that purchase. Second, If you're adding something that's new to you, like a heat pump, ask your contractor to educate you about the upkeep and maintenance so you can protect your investment. And third, energy rebates and tax incentives are big considerations for your new upgrade. Make sure you and your contractor know the proper websites and paperwork needed to get you the discounts you deserve.